Breaking into the Japanese game industry as a freelance artist might sound hard, especially if you're not Japanese. I've been working in this field for more than 10 years as a non-Japanese artist, and this is the story that brought me here. Hi, Mi fam, I'm Lunar, a freelance artist working for a Japanese game company. I've been frequently asked how I got here and what it takes to work in this field. So today, I'm going to be sharing with you my journey, struggles, and the exact steps that got me into the industry from the perspective of a non-Japanese artist. I will mention my art background, how I work in a Japanese art studio, and how I quit my studio artist job and became a freelance artist for a Japanese game company. All the topics I will cover are timestamped in the description below, so you can easily jump to the sections that interest you the most. But before I start sharing my journey, I want to clarify that this is my personal experience and everyone's path can be different. This video focuses on my journey rather than providing specific tips. However, I hope my story can be comforting and inspiring for anyone pursuing art as a career. All I want is to help you feel less alone and feel more confident in your own unique journey. So, let's get started. Let's start with my art background. I grew up in Thailand in a lower middle-class family. I started drawing when I was just 3 years old, and since then, art has been my constant companion. Back then, I simply loved drawing without any reason. Instead of playing outside with other kids, I spent most of my time drawing. In my school years, I was inspired by manga and dreamed of becoming a manga artist. Without any experience, I created my original manga stories, sending them to publisher. But rejection after rejection taught me a hard truth: my art sucked. Eventually, I stopped drawing manga, and this paved the way for something more interesting. A turning point was when the game Ragnarok Online became a huge hit. This game introduced me to a world of character design and digital art. I really loved the artwork and I thought I want to create something like this. Seeing those artwork made me want to dive into digital art so badly, but there was one problem. I couldn't afford a drawing tablet. So I was just drawing with color pencils and kept dreaming. Though my family was supportive, we couldn't afford art college, so I ended up studying in a completely unrelated program, but I never stopped drawing. Then in 2008, I received my first drawing tablet from a friend. It was a used one, worn out and quirky, but it changed my life. Thanks to this tablet, I began my journey into digital art. Here's the first illustration I made with that tablet. From there, I dove into exploring different art styles, and I absolutely enjoy it. As I finished university, it was time to find work. I thought, why not turn art into a career? If I made art my job, I could draw all day long. It sounds silly, but that was what I thought. However, I wasn't sure how to monetize my art at first. Opening art commissions seemed like the only way. So I began sharing my art on DeviantArt and start accepting commissions. I was worried about whether anyone would hire me, but it happened. I got my first customer. It was a novel cover commission. I was so proud that I could finally make money from my art. Then when I got paid, well, it was little. The money I got from art commissions was insufficient for a living, so I set my new goal to becoming a studio artist and make art into a more sustainable career for me. My very first position is a concept artist in a small game studio in Thailand. When I first started working, I had zero experience in creating concept art for games. I had to learn everything from scratch, and that was so tough. The team wanted me to create Western-style art. However, this wasn't my passion. Despite my best effort to improve, my work still looked rubbish, and I wasn't happy with my art during that period. Day by day, it became more and more stressful. I felt like it wasn't my way and I didn't enjoy the work. Finally, I decided to leave the company in 2012. I transitioned to another art studio, and this second company was the one that changed my life forever. Back in 2012, Japan's mobile game market was booming. Smartphones becoming popular. Mobile games like RPGs, card games, and gacha games were everywhere. This created a huge demand for illustrators, and many Japanese game companies started outsourcing their art to studios in Japan and other countries. One of those studios was in Bangkok, Thailand, and this was the second company I worked for. This studio was led by a Japanese CEO and specialized in producing artwork for Japan's game industry. I found out this studio was hiring an illustrator while browsing a job site. Back then, I didn't have an online presence or a social media following. I just sent in my portfolio, took the art test, passed it, and got a job. It felt like a dream because it was a chance to work in the Japanese game industry without leaving my home country. The studio was in a premium office building in the heart of Bangkok, with about 30 Thai employees. It was an exciting place where I made many artist friends. We had a translator who helped us communicate with the CEO and translate work instructions from Japanese to Thai. We worked on many fun projects, making illustrations for Japanese art games and creating different game assets like characters, backgrounds, weapons, items, and other graphics for Japanese games. At that time, my art style was evolving. I had to practice both anime and semi-realistic style, drawing male and female characters based on what our clients requested. We also got art training from our Japanese art director, and I learned so much from him and my co-workers. He encouraged us to use 3D models to improve our sketches and make our work look better. Here is one of the pieces I created for the studio. It was my first time using 3D models as a base to draw a male character and a skull. Even though I wasn't fully happy with my art style just yet, seeing my work appear in an actual game was incredibly exciting. But as we all know, every story has an end. The boom in mobile games in Japan eventually led to market saturation. Many game studios had to reassess their operations, and naturally, the demand for game artwork declined after that. Competition in the game illustration market grew increasingly fierce. Our studio faced these same challenges and need to adjust to the new situation. This meant reducing the team to match the lower demand for art, which led to the layoff of most artists. Although I wasn't dismissed, it wasn't a great situation. Since most of my friends lost their jobs, working there just wasn't the same without them anymore. And there was another thing that had been bothering me. I didn't have the freedom to choose what I drew and often assigned to create artwork I didn't really enjoy. I didn't feel happy with my work anymore. This led to another big change in my life. I made a hasty decision, one I wouldn't recommend to anyone. I quit the studio in 2014 without any backup plan. And now, my roller coaster life as a freelance artist had begun. With only a small amount of savings, I had to move back in with my parents. I had to take freelance job from the studio I had just left. I was reluctant, but there was no other choice. To be honest, I was desperate just to earn enough for food. Though I was completely broke, I made a promise to myself that I wouldn't return to work 9 to 5 again. But I had no idea what to do. Months passed and I felt stuck in what I call loser mode. Then one day, my artist friend called with unexpected news. He had also left the same studio and was now freelancing for a Japanese art agency. So, what is an art agency? In the Japanese illustration market, an art agency serves as a bridge between freelance illustrators and clients such as game companies, publishing houses, or other creative industries. Agencies collect and showcase artist portfolios to potential clients, helping them secure opportunities that align with their skills and style. Japanese art agencies typically communicate only in Japanese. However, it was surreal because this agency contacted my friend in English via DeviantArt private message. They were looking for more artists, and my friend asked if I want in. I said yes. The next step was to gather my best artwork from my studio days and submit it to the agency as a portfolio. Thanks to my previous studio job, I had lots of artwork samples that helped me build a strong portfolio. After submitting all the files, I nervously awaited their feedback. The agency sent my portfolio to a Japanese game company. They liked my work and wanted to hire me for a project. That was great news. I was in. My first job was creating artwork for the card games. Since the agency staff can communicate in both English and Japanese, they handle all the translation of work instructions for me, so I can work with them easily in English. And here's the first piece I created for them. That project marked the start of a new chapter of my life. After working with the agency for a few months, I built up a new collection of artwork. The agency then used these new pieces to help me find more clients in Japan. Since then, this agency has provided me with steady work and it has grown into my main career to this day. Looking back, I'm amazed at how far I have come. Over the past decade, I have created hundreds of artworks for Japanese clients through this agency. From a decade of pursuing art, I've learned that being an artist demands relentless hard work, networking, and a huge amount of luck. And let's be real, it's not exactly the most lucrative career. For many, this path simply isn't sustainable. For me, art isn't just a job, it's my calling. It's what makes me feel alive. If you are chasing something you love, whether it's art or any other career, even if it doesn't bring in money right away, your passion is a North Star. It will guide you. With hard work and creativity, you'll find your way forward. I would love to hear from you. What are you pursuing right now? Let me know in the comments below. And if anime art is your dream, don't forget to grab your free ebook to kickstart your journey with me. Just click the link in the description below. I've got some exciting content coming up, including art tips on how I develop my anime art skills without attending art school, and a full breakdown of my illustration process. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss the chance to level up your art skills together. That's all for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!